Hello, friends. How are you today? Well, you can see there's still a lot of clouds in the sky and fogginess here. Let me see. Let me put the focus. Yeah, see? That's kind of cool, huh? All the fog is moving in. And I got out here late to record today, so yeah, there we go. I got out here late to record, so the sun is somewhere up. So I have to sit in the shadows, snuggle up to this bush so that I don't have weird shadows on my face. Well, I wanted to talk about the potency of the energy. And I put out on some of my social media that I'm just going to take a few days and do just light posting, but I'm just going to make it like okay to post whatever I want. But I don't have to post a certain thing. Maybe that's just a personal thing I've got going on. But what I do want to mention is the potency of the energies right now. And what does that mean? For me, it started Saturday morning. I noticed there was some very, very much intensity in the electromagnetics. And here's the thing, for some of us, we feel it when it happens at the sun. And I think that this in general is true for humanity. I think a huge percentage of us feel this at the sun. If you want to know more about this, look at my first live stream video where I explain how the sun, the Schumann resonance, the electromagnetics, how they all interact. And you can also look at my beginner playlist video, the Schumann resonance, what the heck is it? And I explain the connection between those energies there as well with visuals. They both have visuals. But the what the heck is it has like a visual of the geomagnetic energy moving, and then the first live stream has visuals of the human energy field and how we are affected by these systems, what I call systems, energy systems. Okay, so on Saturday, September 14th, I felt very physically dizzy. Energetically, I felt very grounded, spiritually. But I noticed that the energy was really affecting me physically. Then, on Sunday, I woke up and I had a premonition. I'm just laughing. I'm laughing at what's happening around me. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I had a premonition, and that premonition was very intense. And I had a feeling that something was going to happen in the energies. And if you're a member of my channel, on my live stream Sunday morning, I talked about the potency of the energies at that moment and ongoing, and how there was a life and death intensity to the energies with some details about that. And sure enough, within 20 to 30 minutes after the live stream ended, that is when the attempt was made on President Trump's life. Now, when I talk about this, I'm talking in a space of sacred discharge. I'm not invoking or creating anything. I'm simply telling a story. So I'm just saying that my call on the energy was correct. Now, what I want to do is tell you about the Schumann resonance and the astrology, and I'm going to describe the chart energies. Some of you have asked if I'm going to go back to putting graphics in the data, graphics and data charts in the videos, and the answer is yes. But I'm just going to give myself a few days here to resettle, okay? Because there's something going on in this moment. And I don't want to force myself to do technical things when the energies are deeply potent and deeply spiritual. Sorry, I'm just not going to do it. And then when I come out with it, I'll give you an explainer of what I'm doing at that time. So on the Schumann resonance chart, here's what we saw from September 14th, 15th, 16th. So that's Saturday, Sunday, and then yesterday, Monday. There was essentially a white cloud of energy for 40 hours. And it went from about 0 to 14 hertz. So what is this? In my view, this is a lot of lighting up of energies, because it was a white resonance energy mostly. It was a lighting up in our subconscious, in our connection with divinity, in our unconscious as living humans, the shadow side of the personality. But because it went to 14 hertz, it also went to the level of our beta brainwaves. We're beyond alpha hertz, where we're in observation. It went to that too. But we're in the base levels of thinking about something. But it's very deep, because the light up of energies is full from 0 to 8 hertz for the most part for those 40 hours. Yeah. So on Sunday I had a premonition. I didn't make a video about it. I just talked to friends about it, and on my live I talked about it on my live stream. But it's really interesting because there was no tech effect that occurred, okay, that I could see during this whole time. And when there's something happening that could have a global effect, usually the tech effect is on. Okay, the technology effect, where there are these lines straight up and down, usually for hours and hours. However, on the chart, at the attempt, if I track the timing, on the Schumann resonance chart, there was a blue line that went straight to 40 hertz. And in my view, with a very celestial quality of blue. And my hair is blowing around because it's all so windy here. I try to bring a hair tie when it's windy. Anyway, so this blue energy, let me just fix my outfit here. So this blue energy went to, 40 hertz. It's unusual to have a thin blue line of this nature, okay? It's like the celestial energy coming in my view. Now, interestingly, because I mentioned the tech effect, right before the attempt, there was a space within a very marked space in the chart. And there was one thin line. It almost looked like one thin green line of the technological effect. It was right in the center of this space in the cloud of energy. And then next thing that happened was the thin blue line at the time of the attempt. And the next thing that happened was a huge white arrow was created at the top of the chart. Again, between 0 and almost 14 hertz, okay? But the really, really strong part of the arrow was from 0 to 8. Oh, here I drew it. Looked like this. Okay. And it lasted for 2 hours. And I wanted to call that like the hand of God. It's like you see that 0 to 8 hertz, right? That's pretty much in human unconsciousness. But in my view, it's also the dream time. It's where we're communing with the divinity that we are. Theta waves, delta waves, and the 0 hertz connection, in my view, it's a 0 hertz connection is with the soul. So after the arrow, there was a red arrow. I made it in brown because I don't have red right now, red markers. But there was a very thin and smaller red arrow of energy pointing in the same direction. At the bottom of the blue energy were two things. The first was like, it looked to me like the face of a child or the face of a man, but it had like a Buddha type energy or a childlike innocence, and it was pointing towards the past, which I thought was really interesting because there was almost sort of the energy of non-judgment of what had happened or over who had done it or why it had happened. And to me, that's very much the energy of unconditional love is divinity, pure the Creator's love for us. But the other interesting thing is, let me just put this big. There was the face of a woman with big red lips, okay? The lips were red resonance. And she was sort of a saucy woman, I would say. She was like very full of herself, and she had two horns on top of her head. This was at the bottom of the arrow, and she was looking to the right. She was looking to the right on the chart, facing forward. What does that mean? Facing the potential future. And so I felt that unlike the divinity energy of the baby or the very peaceful man, this was the energy of, the energy of why the action happened, related to why the action happened. It was a woman with horns on her head. Now let's talk about the astrology really quick here, because the astrology is also electromagnetic energies like the Schumann that affect the human and the earth, in my view, and a lot of others. So here's the interesting thing about the astrology, okay? There has been a kite I just tracked it when I did the research for this video this morning for the past year. So the kite, at the top of the kite, the direction the kite is going in is Neptune, the spiritual, right? The left and right wing of the kite, the left wing is Uranus and the right wing is Pluto. And it just so happens with the moon, if I look at the kite starting Saturday morning when I got that feeling, when I first got the feeling of the energies. And was there a CME at that time? Were there flares? Yes. Okay. So I'm just acknowledging the sun energy as well. It's interesting because the prediction for the CMEs was high intensity all day Monday, and that just didn't happen. And I'm going to tell you why I feel that didn't happen. It's because it's a misinterpretation by science or scientists of the energy. It was that intense, but it was that intense for the human beings, okay, who receive this energy. We're like the planetary antennas, right? All the humans that receive electromagnetic forces from the sun, from the solar system. It was that intense for us. Science predicted it as if it was going to be that intense all day, and they were wrong. And why were they wrong? Because they're not looking at the whole system. They're not looking at the human beings. They're not looking at the Schumann resonance and tying it all together. It's like a heart doctor, right? Who is only looking at the heart, not looking at nutrition, not looking at exercise, not looking at, and of course now some of them are bringing all this in, but it's like a doctor that's only looking at one tiny thing in the body, or a big thing if it's a heart doctor, and they're not relating it with anything else. Okay, so that's why, in my view, the prediction was wrong. It just was. Okay, so So basically, I do here. All right, so with this kite energy in the astrology, okay, what's happening is the base of the kite keeps changing. The planetary bodies keep changing to bodies that move quickly. The top of the kite is the generational energy of Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. It's going to be really interesting for the kids born at this time or in the past year or more, okay? Because this kite is part of their charting. It's really fascinating what that generation is going to be like. But for us in the current moment, what's happening is the faster moving planets and asteroids are taking the position at the bottom of the kite. What does that mean? That's the energy that is motivating the kite, right? The generational expression is long term, the top of the kite, but these interim energies are coming through, adding to the point of view of the generational energies. So what I did was I went back 1 year. 1 year ago it was Pallas Athena, actually. Okay. But in the near term, on September 7th, the moon was at the base of the kite. On August 28th, Venus was at the base of the kite. On August 5th, Juno was at the base of the kite. And at the 8-8 gateway, which lasts for, that energy lasts the whole year, the base of the kite was Juno with the moon, embodying generational choices and directions as the current living human being that you are. That's the energy of the kite for the next year, right? August to August. Lilith was the, directional force for the kite on June 21st. The sun will be on September 20th in 3 days. Mercury will be the base of the kite on September 25th. Vesta, the sacred goddess in the temple, tending the sacred flame, or the woman cooking at the sacred flame of the gas stove or the fireplace in the home, or the man kicking at the barbecue. I'm just teasing. I like to joke. And then in a year, it'll take a year until it's going to be exactly on the next 8-8 gateway of 2025 that Mars will be the base of the kite. So what's the meaning of this? So over the next, all of these influences that have come in at the base of the kite coming off of August 8th, okay, influence the direction of the kite over the next year, and then Mars in a year, or so, because it's September when I'm making this video, but at 8/8/2025, I'm banging the table, Mars will activate this energy that we do now. Okay, so what's that mean? So the moon embodying it, okay, and the moon is part of the base of the kite every month because the moon moves so fast, but not necessarily with another planetary body. Venus, right? What do we truly value? Also money, resources, the direct connection with God and the soul. Juno, generationally, how do we want our families to be? How do we want our life's influence to be on earth? Lilith, the bad bitch, I call her. Lilith, we want sovereignty and independence as human beings. We want to be able to make our own decisions in our life. That's her, energy. The sun, embodying the nature of the human soul. Okay, Mercury, communicating about it, thinking about it. Our relationships with our tribe, our soul family, our human family, right? Our actual brothers and sisters, and then our human families that feel like tribe, like I know you somehow. And then Vesta, right? The goddess at the sacred hearth, tending the divine principles, keeping them alive. So all of these help to direct the kite. That's a lot of influences, right? That's a lot of forces here. And what was I going to say? Which way is the kite going? Well, Neptune, in the negative, can spin us off into delusion. In the positive, it can elevate us into deep spiritual awakening and insight. Pluto helps hone our connection with soul, or takes us out into devolution and degradation of the soul in human form, right? To the point where there's no soul connection. It's your choice. How do you want to live? And then Uranus. Uranus can bring shocking surprises and challenges, but here's the deal. Uranus can bring shocking insights. Uranus can bring shocking, sudden rewards and surprises. So I'll give you an example. A girlfriend of mine has been working on something in a dedicated and devoted way for years and years. It was extremely challenging work that she has been doing. And over time, we've talked about that, what I saw my mission was in chatting with her about this was to encourage that she was bringing the light, the light of her being, the light of her presence to this very, very challenging area of life that all humans in the United States of America have to deal with, and probably around the world. So basically, it was amazing. It was amazing because completely out of the blue, something totally unexpected and amazing and positive happened. And that was highly beneficial for her. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, right? That's Uranus. That's Uranus. So do the work that's yours to do, and the work that's yours to do might be very different than the work that's, your neighbor's to do, or the work of your random friend, or the work of the person that you just don't agree with and you wish they would wake up. Well, maybe they're doing a level of work and a kind of work that's just not in your consciousness. It's not what's for you, but it is what is for them, and that is one of the toughest things right now with Neptune in these very advanced degrees of Pisces. There's people that are going to live that very differently than you're going to live it. I have that obviously in my life. I think we all do, right? I live it very differently than some other people in my life live it. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So the hand of God is at work. The energies are intense. Hang in there, keep going, and do what's yours to do. That's what I'm doing. God bless you. Hello, friends. I'm adding this commentary to the video I just made on the intensity of the energies right now, how this is an incredibly potent moment, and that there is a life and death quality to the moment. Well, I finished recording the video, and I stayed a little longer at this position. I did it because I had an idea that I would take photos of the sky. And suddenly what happened was I heard the deep, deep sound of engines in the sky. And I knew it was most likely a military craft. And I thought, oh gosh, while I have my camera out, I'll be able to take a photo. And it is amazing what happened. And I just sat here after it happened, and I said to myself, how do these things happen? The hand of divinity at play. That's all I can come up with. It wasn't one military jet. And it went within 6 feet. Like if I put them 6 feet from where I was sitting recording the video, would have been the middle of that formation. It was 4 jets. They were in the shape of an arrow, which is what I was just talking about. They were in the shape of an arrow with one of the wings missing of the arrow, with one jet missing. I'm just going to give my intuitive read. So it was 4 jets. There were 3 in a triangle. The 4th was one wing, and the 5th part of the wing was missing. I'm going to include the photos as when I edit. Suddenly I just got this deep feeling. Someone died. Someone gave their life for the mission, for the reality that we have at this moment, okay? Where once again, President Trump is alive. We're proceeding on, right, to our election. You're living life. You are living life, as you have been the day before and the day before and the day before, for us to have this moment, this peace that we have right now, this quiet in the energies. Someone gave it all. Thank you. And it's an honor. It was an honor to be an observer of that formation, and it's an honor to be able to talk about it. Thank you.